Lord, I need a new laptop. So good morning. How's everybody doing? Let me see if I get some people to come in. If not, it is what it is. Somebody was like, your stories have to be popping. I'm like, really? Anyway, let's talk about what's going on in the world today. So we're gonna talk about the Colorado school shooting updates. If y'all know, Colorado always has something going on with it. Says Colorado school shooting update STEM school to be closed this week after one dead, eight injured. An ATO student was killed and eight others were injured in the Denver STEM school. Police say the two suspects are also police say the two suspects are also students US today. One student is dead, eight others injured after two of their classmates opened fire. STEM School Highland Ranch, a public charter school with more than 1,000 for the remainder of the week. This is a terrible event, Douglas County Sheriff Tony Spurlock said. This is something that nobody wants to happen in their community. Two shooting suspects are in custody. One is a male juvenile. Open fire in two separate classrooms. First and foremost, how in the hell did they get a gun in the school? This is why I be talking about the schools and why they need to have these type of metal detectors. I was just texting my husband. You know what I'm saying? This is why I say that people need metal detectors because this is why. This is why exactly you need metal detectors because look what happened. I was just talking about it when I went to my daughter's school because I told the principal my beliefs and he said that, well, to be honest with you, and he was frank, he just said, even if you have a metal detector, they could still slip guns in school because somebody will be doing something and they'll, basically, it's an inside job, basically. I'm on live and, let me go back to what I was saying. I just had to text my husband and tell him that I was on live. Okay. It says now this is my thing. Like I said, once again, somebody. How did they get a gun in the school? So it's one dead, eight injured in the shooting, and it said the two suspects were arrested after a struggle, but were not injured. Spurlock said deputies recovered at least one handgun from the suspect. How the hell did a handgun get in the school? Robert Helfer, 13, was in a math class when he heard disturbance. Everyone thought it was a theater play at first. Lord, these kids. Then when we just started hearing banging and gunshots and cursing, the seventh grader said his eyes red, his shaking hands twisting a plastic water bottle. There was a body by the door when the police officer came to get us. Oh my God. Outside the school, after the shoot, many parents still in work uniforms held tight to their sobbing children. Residents in the area described the scene of confusion and worry. I can really believe this. Who are the victims? All the shooting victims are students age 15 and older. Wow, that's my daughter's age. The male student who died was 18 years old. That's my daughter's age. May he rest in peace. The sheriff tweeted Tuesday. As of Tuesday evening, two other injured were in serious condition and two were in stable condition, and one was in good condition, the area hospital said. Three other injured have been discharged, Littleton Evidence Hospital spokeswoman said. What's next in investigation? Authorities were waiting for a search warrant to inspect a suspect's car at the school and their home. We're going to investigate that and we'll get to the bottom of it, figure out how and what has occurred. The sheriff said in his tweet that it would not be releasing photos at this time as it could jeopardize this critical ongoing investigation. Of course, about 8 miles away, Colorado High School is located in adjacent community south of Denver. The shooting Tuesday came less than a month after the 20th anniversary of the massacre at Columbine. You remember the Columbine? It left 13 people dead. Tragically, this community and those surrounding it know all too well these hateful and horrible acts of violence. White House spokesman Judge Deary said in a statement, President Donald Trump has been briefed to cancel classes during an FBI manhunt for a woman infatuated with the Columbine shooting. Andre Pedetto, 46, was installing a ceiling fan at her nearby home when she got the news her son's school was under attack. I wasn't panicking because they hadn't given any details yet. I would have been panicking. It's hard when you don't know. She said, this is Colorado. We have school shootings. So I guess they just used to that. Because, let me tell you, I went to school with basically, let me tell you what happened. It was a lockout, like a lockout test. I freaked the fuck out because I couldn't get in. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and I was scared. I was scared for my kids. And after the thing had went, it said, "Dude," and I was like, "What the fuck was going on?" I couldn't get in. It was me and a couple more parents, and they said, "Oh, it was doing a lockout drill." And I said, "Well, that's not nice because nobody tell me shit about no lockout drill." So I these live stories. The next story is about a hero. Why I call this young lady a hero is because she saved her children's she saved her siblings' life. She saved her life, and I call her a hero. So basically, it's kids of parents who tortured them speak at their sentence. The whole thing, okay? Because right now the parents are doing 25 years to life. But thanks to this young lady, she saved. I'm just going to the part where it says 17-year-old, her name is Turpin daughter, told dispatcher she called the police that she and her siblings lived in filth and that she had not bathed in nearly 1 year. Sometimes I wake up in 5 years and had never been to a dentist in her life. The adult Turpin children are now healthy. That's what the lawyer said. This was Friday. All of them are doing really well. The physical Osborne said that's a miracle. They want to be normal adults going to Target, going to baseball. And he said, we are confident what's given. That's what the beginning of it. Basically, it's kids of parents who tortured them speak at their sentencing. So the parents, so it says, a son and daughter of David and Louise Turpin spoke out in court Friday as their parents were sentenced. This was last week. Now I'm taking my life back, a daughter, one of the Turpin's 13 children said in court. I'm a fighter. I'm in college now and living independently, she said. I love, I'm sorry. I love hanging out with my friends and life is great. I believe everything happens for a reason. Life may have been bad, but it made me strong. I fought to become the person I am. I saw my dad change my mom. She said visibly shaking and clutching tissues. They almost changed me. So basically, if you don't know what this is about the kids. If I can go back to the whole beginning. This this was the ABC News.
That child's voice, high pitched and uncertain, is not a child's, but
she's a YouTuber.
Authorities say
she was a YouTuber who sings.
Saving her 13
brothers and sisters from captivity.
Their parents.
I've never been out. I don't go out much, so I don't know anything about the streets or anything.
At 6 a.m. that morning, she grabbed the brother's deactivated cell phone and called the old number he would dial. The 911 dispatcher peeling back the layers of horror.
Okay, I live in a family of
15 people.
And my parents are...
Her two little sisters now are chained up.
One of my brothers.
Two of her sisters and one of her brother.
With chains. They're chained up to their bed.
Jordan's call would free the rest of her siblings and land her parents in jail. It's our first time hearing from any of David and Louise Turpin's children about the horrors the parents were convicted of, including counts of torture and false
Look at that
imprisonment.
house.
They pleaded guilty in February and will be sentenced tomorrow to 25 to life.
25 to life. They need to be 25 to life.
We first met their precocious daughter, Jordan Turpin, on YouTube. She'd somehow been able to post a few of her videos online singing. The Turpin children all...
I'm going to see if I can find her on YouTube because she is on YouTube. I don't know if they still have it. But this is a YouTuber who was singing that was being tortured by her parents and chained to the bed. I'm going to see if I can find her name. It's Jordan Turpin. And I can show y'all a picture of how she looked. They might have took it down, but it won't hurt to try. Because she could sing. Here she go. This is her.
Lacey Swan is one of 12 children of the Turpin family living their life of abuse.
But they took it off, but
She
hold
was
on.
the voice on YouTube singing out to the...
I'll show you a picture. So yeah. And this is her family. They are popular, like all the sadness that they've been on today, New York, all that type of stuff. You know, so she's a hero. A reason why she's a hero is because she saved her sister's, her family's life. And let's go back to what they. Hey, Miss Moore. Good morning. We talking about the YouTuber who saved her sibling's life, Jordan Turpin, and we talking about the not too far from away from the Colorda shooting. It was another shooting in Colorado. It was one person dead and 8 people hurt. So yes, we're talking about right now how this 17-year-old saved her sibling's life. Let me continue. Both parents got 25 years to life. A son and daughter of David and Louise Turpin spoke out in court for the first time Friday as their parents were sentenced for torturing and imprisoning them for years. They imprisoned them for years. The little girl said she's 13 years old. That's my son's age. Wow. Now I'm taking my life back. A daughter, one of Turpin's 13 children, said in court, I'm a fighter, I'm strong, and I'm shooting through life like a rocket. You go ahead, baby girl. Other one said, I'm in college now, and I'm living independently, she said. I love hanging out with my friends and life is great. I believe everything happened for a reason. Life may have been bad, but it made me a strong, and I fought to become the person I am. Another person said, I saw my dad change my mom. She said, visibly shaking and clutching us to another girl. It's 13 of them now. And their parents had them captive, chained up to a bed. So let's just hear the rest of it. The Turpins abused 12 of their 13 children, including in some cases shackling them and beating them brutally. Prosecutors said they pleaded guilty in February to charges including torture and false imprisonment. David and Louise Turpin were sentenced Friday to 25 years to life. They needed more than that. A Turpin son said in court Friday, I cannot describe in words what we went through. Sometimes I still have nightmares. Okay, so this child still have nightmares of things that had happened, such as my siblings being chained up or getting beaten. But that is the past and this is now. That's right. I love my parents and I have forgiven them for a lot of the things that they did to us, he said. I have learned so much and become very independent. God bless these kids. He said he learned how to ride a bike and since then he rides everywhere. See, Miss Moore, he was chained up for so many years he didn't know how to ride a bike. So congrats to him for learning how to ride a bike. And he's a grown man. I live in an apartment and I go to a nearby college. I'm getting a bachelor's degree in software engineering. And after I get my bachelor's degree, I'm going to get a job as software engineer and go to school part time to get my master's degree. That son also read a statement in court on behalf of one of his sisters. This is another sister. I love both of my parents so much, although it may not have been the best way of raising us. I'm glad that they did because it made me the person I am today. I just want to thank them for teaching me about God and faith. I hope they never lose their faith. Louise Turpin and lips quivered, and both parents wiped tears from their eyes as the statement was read. This is the father as he's crying and shedding tears. And this is the mother. Shame on y'all. What kind of parents does this to their children? I pray often for them that the daughter statement continue. I am doing well. I am going to college full time. I have an apartment. We are not supposed to necessarily understand God's will, but we are only to follow and to trust in Him. A lawyer read a statement on behalf of another daughter who asked the court to remove the restraining order so she could visit her parents. I want the court to know our parents loved each other and loved each of their children. The statement said, I remember our mother sitting in her recliner saying she don't know what to do. She didn't want to use rope or chain, but was afraid her children would take in too much sugar and caffeine. That's why, because they got chained because they took in too much caffeine and sugar. Once again, this is the father. Number one, they look like they're mentally something disabled or something. Something is going on with them too. David Turpin said in a statement to the judge on Friday, I never intended for any harm to come to my children. I'm sorry if I've done anything to cause them harm. I love my children. I hope the very best for my children in the future. Louise Turpin said in court, I'm sorry for everything I've done to hurt my children. I love my children so much. I look forward to the day I can see them and hug them and tell them I'm sorry. The couple was arrested in January of 2018 after their 17-year-old daughter escaped the Paris, California home and called 911. The never before heard 911 call exclusively obtained this week by ABC News reveals that the moment she turned her parents in. She said, my parents are abusive. 17-year-old told the dispatcher, my two little sisters right now are chained up right now. They're chained up to their bed. The 17-year-old alleged that she and her siblings would be chained up for 1 or 2 months and only freed to brush their teeth or to use the bathroom. An officer who interviewed the teen testified. The teen said she and her siblings never ate breakfast and would only eat peanut butter, bologna, or a frozen burrito or chips for lunch and dinner. The officer testified when rescued all children except for the youngest, a toddler, was severely malnourished. Prosecutors said the eldest victim, a 29-year-old woman, weighed only 82 pounds. Yeah. Sometimes I wake up and I can't breathe because how dirty the house is, she said. The teen she hadn't been to a doctor in 5 years and had never been to a dentist in her life. This is so fucking sad. The adult Turpin children are now healthy, their lawyer said. Praise the Lord about that. Thank God. Jack Osborne told reporters Friday, all of them are doing really well. They want to be normal adults going to Target, going to baseball games. He said, we are confident given what they've been through and how resilient that they are. They're going to be really so she's a hero in my thing. She's in what I see, she's a hero. And I cannot make this shit up. Okay, these stories, yeah.
Think anybody in the house?
They ridiculous.
Sure.
It was okay, so let me get to this one. It's so sad about these stories. Like every time I turn on my phone, it's some bull crap going on. So we need to keep the struck me hard, like, cause I'm a mom. Oh Jesus! So a Georgia woman has been sentenced to death for starving her 10-year-old stepdaughter. But it gets worse than that. Her freaking father helped kill stepmother. Ain't you going jogging or whatever? After she was convicted this week of starving her 10-year-old stepdaughter to death, Tiffany Moss was convicted Monday in the 2013 death of her stepdaughter. Imani Moss, Gwinnett County District. Attorney Daniel Porter told CNN. A jury found Moss guilty of torturing Imani, starving her to death, and then, with the help of her husband, which was Imani's full-blooded birth father, burned the child's body in a trash can, according to CNN affiliated WSB. At the time of her death, Imani weighed just 32 pounds, the average weight of a toddler, according to the Atlanta Journal Constitution. And this was her. God bless her. May she rest in peace, the little angel. Moss 36 showed no reaction when the death sentence was handed down Tuesday. Local media inside the courtroom reported she'll be transferred to the state custody within the next 20 days. Porter said Imam Moss is currently serving life in prison for the death of his daughter, according to WSB. Tiffany Moss acted as her own attorney in the case, but offered no defense, called no witnesses, and gave no opening nor closing statements. Moss will be just the third Department of Corrections told CNN. If y'all remember the Leanna Baker, an African American maid, death by an all-white, all-male jury for the death of a man she said held her against her will. If y'all don't remember that, Pam played in that movie. I remember that, and that was a true story. And yeah, she died in that movie, and the real Lena Baker died after she was pardoned 60 years after. Okay, so yeah, that was crazy too. So, like I said, against her will, threatened her life, and appeared poised to hit her with a metal bar. Georgia's parole board posthumously pardoned Baker 60 years after her execution, finding that it was a grievous error to deny her clemency. Yeah, that's that bull crap. The second was Keller. Once transferred, Moss would be the only woman on death row in Georgia, according to Bennett. Do I feel sorry for her? No, I don't feel sorry for her. And usually I feel sorry for people, but it's just craziness going on. And it's just getting sickening and sickening. Driver who admitted to raping a 14-year-old girl, he gets probation, no jail term. Like, what the hell is going on with this world? Like I was just talking about, I did a podcast earlier. I was like, this world is going bonkers for real. Now people end it, you know? So it said bus driver who admitted to raping a 14-year-old. You know what they did for him? They gave him a lesser sentence. A former school bus driver who admitted to raping a 14-year-old girl will not spend any time behind bars. The Watertown Daily Times reports a 26-year-old Shane Pitch was sentenced to 10 years of probation. He got 10 years probation. After pleading guilty to third-degree rape. He was also registered as a level 1 sex offender, which is considered low risk of recommitting the crime, and is not included online